Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video I'm going to be doing a monthly check-in for my weight loss series. For those that have seen my previous video, my I'm back video, I explained that I'm going to be restarting my weight loss series, restarting my weight loss journey, I guess. So there's a couple of changes for those that are returning. The format has changed slightly in like the bits that I do. For those that are new, that are coming to my channel for the first time, I do not weigh myself on my channel. I rely solely on measurements, gold tryon clothing section and progress shots. I forgot for a second which ones they were. So I don't weigh myself at all on my channel. I am going to be, I guess, secretly weighing myself, not me seeing the number, because I know for me the number can be quite toxic for me to see and can be quite demoralizing. I don't really want to know what I weigh at the moment, so I have an app that takes the measurement, and it's literally just going to be weighing myself on that, muting the app so it doesn't tell me what I weigh, and then I'm just going to close the app and leave it at that, because it's all sort of Bluetooth transferred. So I'm going to have that weight in there just for reference, for like when I get to the end of my weight loss journey, I can see the sort of progress throughout. But I'm not going to look at that number at all. If anything, it might be that I don't even go into the app. It might be that I get Philip to sort of do all of that stuff so that I don't see it. But yeah, for the time being, my check-ins is basically going to be my progress shots, my measurements, and my goal tryon clothing section. That hasn't changed for the format from the previous time. Just a couple of the things within those sections has changed. So progress shots hasn't changed. The only thing that has is that there won't be a comparison with the previous month that I did a check-in for, just because I'm fresh starting it, so I don't want any comparisons between my last sort of weight loss journey and the one that I'm starting now. So measurements are going to be exactly the same. I'm not going to compare any measurements to the previous time that I checked in. It's going to be wiping the slate clean, having just everything start from scratch, and then we'll move forward from here. So all the videos going forward will have comparisons with this month's, but for now there's going to be no comparisons with the last time that I checked in, just for sort of, yeah, fresh slate reasons. My goal tryon clothing section has changed. I have changed the items that I'm using for that. So I was previously using a pair of jeans and a pair of summer trousers, and I've been trying those on for as long as I can remember with my check-ins. And I've had a couple of people mention this, but I've also sort of thought this in the back of my mind sometimes, that having goal items of clothing that are several sizes smaller, like almost like my goal body, like weight items of clothing, is probably not ideal, and I should sort of work myself down into certain items of clothing. And I think from like a rewards perspective, when you know that you're doing well and you're able to get on a pair of jeans, that's like your reward for doing well. And I feel like I just need to have like iterations within that. So I've got two pairs of jeans that I'm going to be trying on. They are new, and they're just one size smaller. So one pair of jeans that I have does fit, if you will. It does button up, but it is too small, like it's really tight. So obviously, ideally, as I slim down into that, yeah, that'll show the progress there, how sort of comfortable the jeans are. Then I've got another pair of jeans which are the same size as the other pair of jeans, but they're a different dye. So usually when you get different dyes of jeans, they fit different. So the grey pair of jeans that I've got to try on, they don't do up at all, and I'm struggling to get them up my legs. So they are one size down, so I think it's more attainable to have like one size down clothing, so that I've got that mini goal that I can get to fit in that pair of jeans. That can be my reward because I've got a new item of clothing that I can wear, and then I buy a new pair of jeans or whatever as my sort of next stage, so that I've always got something to work towards that's not that far away. So yeah, the previous items of clothing are going to be sold, so I'm going to give those to someone else so that they can wear them now. So yeah, this is basically my fresh slate. I don't think I have anything else to really mention. I guess I can talk about what's been happening over the last 2 months that I haven't mentioned in my sort of I'm back video with regards to sort of weight loss. So I haven't been tracking at all. I haven't really been running. I've run twice in the last 2 months, so I've not really been doing any exercise either. I can tell that that's the case, that I've been eating more and exercising less because things are getting tighter. I've got a couple of like jackets that I use for commuting in the morning that have got a bit tighter around the arms and the shoulders. And I've got a couple of pairs of jeans and things like that are quite a bit more snug than they used to be. So I can tell that I've gained weight in certain areas. I can physically see it as well, especially on my arms and on my legs and on my stomach. I can tell that I've sort of gained weight in those areas. So yeah, I'm just sort of in that, I guess, fed up mentality of being the size that I am. I feel like I shouldn't have to preface this, but I do. If there are people watching this video that are the same size as me, don't be offended or anything by how I think of my body. This is my body and how I view it, and someone else may be happy with the same size body that they've got, and that's fine. But for me, I know how uncomfortable I am in this body. I know that I have been much happier as a smaller size. So yeah, it's just something that I want to do for myself. I'm not doing it for anyone else. And like I said, if you are the same size as me and you're happy in your body, don't be offended by me saying that I don't like the body that I'm in. It doesn't mean that I hate everyone else's body that is the same as mine. I don't. It's just I physically don't like my body in the shape that it's in. Yeah, I know that you shouldn't have to sort of preface that, but sometimes there are people out there that sort of take offence to it, and there is no offence meant by what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess that's it. So we're going to get into the sort of check-in portion. So I'm going to do progress shots first. So I'll show you all 4 angles of my body, from the front, back and the 2 sides, so you can see those. Then, as I said, going forward, next month I will have a comparison with this month's check-in to do. Then I'll have measurements next, so I'll take all my measurements, not doing any comparisons with the previous months. So it'll just be me sort of seeing where I'm at, my starting point, and then we will go forward from there. I'll do my goal, try and clothing section as the 3rd bit, and then I'll come back at the end and I will set some sort of like goals or intentions for the month ahead. So yeah, let's get straight into it before I make this video too long. Right, okay, we're going to move on to measurements next. So I have a spreadsheet. I'm going to create a new one, so it'll be starting from scratch from November, which I will put all my spreadsheet or measurements in, should I say. So as with the previous check-ins that I did, I'm going to speed up this process of taking my measurements, and then I'll come back at the end and explain or put up what my measurements are so that you guys can see it. So let's get to it. Okay, so that is measurements done and all taken. I'll leave a sort of screenshot here with all my measurements on it. From next month, I will have a comparison between this month's and next month's measurements so we can see how I'm getting on. I know generally in myself that I have got up measurements without even comparing to the previous month. Particularly around my stomach and my legs and my arms, obviously because things have got tighter over the last couple of months. So yeah, it's definitely things to work on to bring down again so I can start fitting in those clothes. And we'll have a gold try-on clothing section next, which I'm going to be doing so that I have something to base my progress off that way as well. So we'll get into the gold try-on clothing section. Okay, so as I mentioned at the start of the video, I am going to be doing a clothing try-on section, but I have changed the clothing that I am using. As I said, this is a fresh start, so I've got 2 pairs of jeans. One buttons up, but it's way too tight, so I think that's going to be my sort of first goal item. And then I've got a one that doesn't do up, so that's going to be my second. And then I have a jacket which isn't new, it is an old jacket, but it's become too tight to the point where it's quite tight and restrictive around the shoulders and the arms, and it's hard to do up. So I'm going to sort of use those as my goal items. So yeah, I guess we'll get straight into trying those on, and as of next month when I do my check-in, you'll have the comparison shots to the previous month. So let's get into it. So I guess I'll show you the jacket first. So it's just a blue Berghaus jacket. I was using this for my commutes. So as I said, when I put it on, it's quite restrictive around the back, and from where you're supposed to do up your jackets, like around your hips, it doesn't reach to zip. If I bring it up a bit, obviously I am able to zip it, but then it's quite restrictive around the top half. So yeah, like as you can see, it's making me have like a mono flat boob. So that is how the jacket is looking at the moment. I can barely sort of breathe in this, and it's very tight around the arms. So I guess we'll see how I get on next month with that. Then the next 2 items, they're basically the same jean. So I wear Topshop Joni jeans. So these are the jeans. So these are the ones that do up, and I can fasten, but they're very, very tight. And then these are obviously a different wash of the same jean. They're the same size, but they just don't fit. So these are going to be my sort of second goal item. So I'm going to try both of them on for reference so you can see what they look like. And I guess we'll work from there. So let's try these on. So like I said, I can barely button them, and then there is no sort of giving them at all. So obviously at the moment I'm not going to wear these because they're very uncomfortable, and it gives me a little muffin top. I mean, most jeans, they give you like a muffin top anyway where they cut you off, but this is a bit extreme. So I would like to fit into these a bit better. So that is the dark blue ones. Okay, and then the next ones are these ones, which like I said, are not buttoning at all. So I've got a little way to go with these ones. But so I think because I carry a lot of weight in my bottom half, I can't pull the jeans up enough, or like my thighs are taking up a bit of the extra sort of length in the jeans, if you will. So I can almost button it, but because it's not fitting around the thighs, it's quite low. They're supposed to be quite high-waisted. So yeah, that is where we're at with those ones. So not too far off, but we'll see what happens with them. So I'm going to catch my breath and then I'll come back for the next section. So that is gold try-on clothing done. Okay, so that is all 3 sections of my check-in done. So I've done progress shots, I've done measurements, and I've done my gold try-on clothing section. So it's time to set some intentions for the month ahead. So we're a couple of days in now, so I have been trying my best to lower my intake, have better choices for my meals. I'm still doing the HelloFresh 3 times a week. I haven't been paying too much attention to what HelloFresh sends me. I sort of just let their automatic meal choosing bit do its thing. But there have been some meals where they have been quite calorific and I've not noticed. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I have chosen my meals for this week. So they're about 600-700 calories. So I am going to be starting tracking in NutriCheck again. So I'll have my HelloFresh meals already entered so that I know what I'm working with the rest of my sort of meals and snacks throughout the day. I am going to try my hardest to sort of eat by hunger, because I have just been mindlessly snacking throughout these last couple of months, and I do want to pay attention to actually how hungry I am. So at the moment I think it's like 9 o'clock and I would usually have eaten by now, but obviously I'm not hungry at the moment, so I am trying to push it out as far as I can before I have breakfast. If that means that I don't have breakfast and I just leave it until lunch, then that's fine. A lot of people say not to skip breakfast, but a lot of intermittent fasters and things like that don't eat breakfast, so I'm just going to play it by ear on how I feel and my hunger levels as to whether I eat or not. And just try and sort of, I guess, push things out to not snack as much. But the main sort of goal is to make sure that I'm tracking in NutriCheck again, so that is what I'm going to be doing. The next one is to start running again, and to start the gym again. In terms of the gym, I ideally just want to go once a week at the moment, because I've been going no times a week for the last God knows how long, so it would just be nice to get in one session and slowly just gradually build that up. So one session a week would be grand. Running, I would ideally like to run 3 times a week, but again, I guess one of my goals is to just find a schedule again. With me starting afresh, I feel like sometimes when things change in my life, I'm not really good at adapting to those very quickly. So obviously with me commuting by train again instead of taking the car, I don't have as much flexibility in the mornings, which means I'm going to have to be a bit more stricter with that. I have the treadmill all set up, so I have no excuse for not running in the mornings before work if I wanted to, but it just means I have to get up quite a bit earlier than I would, like 4:30 sort of time, because I need to get the train quite early in the morning in order to get to work. Otherwise, I need to run in the evening. I have lights and reflective clothing, there's no sort of excuses, so I just need to get back into that. I'm going to aim for twice a week running for the time being, so 2 runs, and 1 gym session each week, and then as I progress it might be that I increase that, and I'll let you know at the end of the month what that was, I guess. Or if you're following me on social media, generally any time that I do any sort of exercise I tend to update on there anyway, so I guess if you want to follow me on social media, I will link my Instagram and things up there, because that's what I update on most. But yeah, that's the general intention, to get back into exercise because I haven't really been doing much, and getting back into tracking. I'm going to be tracking in NutriCheck. I'm going to try my best to be under the calories that I set. With a note on that, with me doing the sort of secret weigh-ins, where I don't see the number, but I'll get Philip to sort of look that over. I am going to get him to work out my calories so that I know how many calories I'm supposed to be eating based off the weight that I am now. Just because I think that that's important to make sure that I'm in the right calorie deficit, because it might be that I guesstimate my calories and then that ends up being completely wrong. So I do want to make sure that that's accurate, so I'll get him to sort of check that every so often just to make sure that I'm on the right calories. So that is what I'm doing with that. So I will get him to work that out, and then I'll enter that in NutriCheck, and I'll try my best to stay at the calories that I'm supposed to be eating for my weight range. But this is where I was trying to make my point. At the moment, I'm not too bothered about going slightly over calories. Obviously, I don't want to go nuts, but there is going to be that sort of adjustment period where I've been eating so much that it's going to take time to adjust. So I don't want to go cold turkey and just completely, just completely restrict everything, just because that doesn't work for me. That hasn't worked for me in the past. When I've completely restricted calories and gone cold turkey on everything, it's not worked, and I've ended up going back to sort of bad habits. So I do want to wean myself off, I guess, is the word to use. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't think there's anything else really much to say on that. Obviously we are coming up to Christmas, so it's the time for sort of like Christmas meals and things like that, but I'm just going to have to plan around that. So obviously I know in the near future I'm going to have a work Christmas meal, so I need to allow sort of extra calories for that, but it does mean that I can have a slightly smaller breakfast and lunch to sort of mitigate the damage, if you will. with that. If not, and I don't, then it's no problem, it's just one day, as long as I don't sort of carry that on to like the next days and eat and eat and eat. I just want to make sure that I'm in a bit more control. So that is the intentions going forward. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I'm in this phase at the moment with getting back into YouTube that I just keep fumbling over my words. So I'm hoping that that makes sense and you get what I'm going to be doing. So we'll see how this month goes. Obviously with Christmas I've got visits to family and stuff like that coming up as well, so I am going to have to really be sort of in control of what I'm eating and what I'm doing. So I'll do my best with my tracking. I'll update everything in the new year because that's when my new check-in will be. But I'm going to end the video here for now and get this edited and up. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below to be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, hope you're all staying safe and well. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this. And I will see you again in my next video.